Hey, happy holidays, guys. And you know, as we get closer and closer to these fun holidays, yeah, a lot of stuff's been going on. And I tell you what, even though I'm personally enjoying the heck out of Cyberpunk, we gotta talk about CD Projekt Red and all the other big news that happened this week. So without further ado, let's talk about this week's video game news. So I think the best option for this week is to have a news sandwich of happy news with the bummer news being in the middle. So the first thing I want to talk about is something that is super exciting for me, and that is the final demo for Bravely Default 2 has shadow dropped. So I have currently just finished installing it. As soon as I'm done making this video, I plan on jumping in and checking it out. If you've been watching my channel for a while, when the first demo came out, I actually made 3 videos on it. I made one giving my impressions, really enjoyed it, got stomped. Then I fully maxed out everything and went back and just stomped the stuff. Just beat all the enemies, just crushed them. And then I actually did a final video that had all the secret bosses and the secret ending. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. They're pretty cool. They're actually some of my more popular videos. But it really excited me because I love Bravely Default. The thing I really like about that game is the Brave and the Default system where you can hold turns, kind of risk reward, and then use them later on. But it reminds me a lot of the classic Final Fantasies, not just because it's a turn-based RPG, but because they have the ability to do certain things where a character can buff you, debuff the enemies. Long story short, one of my favorite things is to basically have a full team of really synergistic kind of abilities, where I'll have one guy just break all the defenses on the enemy. I'll have another guy really buff up the 2 main attackers, and then one will be a straight mage and one will be a straight melee and just go to town. And that's the kind of stuff you can do with Bravely Default. It really gets you thinking a lot, and there's a whole lot of different things you could do. I remember in the first game, they had a weird combination where you could pick the rogue, which has multiple hits, but then also have the backup class of the Valkyrie, which is more like a dragoon, and basically you have multiple very high damage dragoon style hits. It's just crazy. So once again, I'm actually going to be playing that game over the weekend. If the final demo, they made a bunch of improvements, a bunch of changes, and I plan on doing a video probably next Tuesday. Will be an impressions kind of review of it, so stick around for that. But hey, what do you guys think? Are you guys jumping into Bravely Default 2, or am I the only crazy one who loved it? I am just extremely excited. So now for the slice of bummer news, we got to talk about CD Projekt Red. You know, if you watch my Tuesday video of my favorite games of 2020 that were specific to 2020, one of my favorite games, and one of my favorite games in a very long time, is Cyberpunk 2077. That being said, I made it painfully clear in that video that I'm playing on an Xbox Series X, and I also am I think extremely lucky because I keep hearing about crashes and game-breaking bugs. I've had no crashes so far. I've put over 25 hours in, and I have had bugs, but nothing game-breaking. I haven't had a lockout of a quest or anything like that. I think the craziest bug I had is I killed a guy and he got sucked into a pocket door. I mean, other than that, it's been awesome. I mean, literally, it is one of the best games I have ever played. And I know PC players are also experiencing this really great game. And you know, to you guys who are getting to enjoy it on the next gen consoles and on the PC stuff, you know, there's a lot of negative news right now, a lot of hate going on with it, and I'm gonna get into that in a second because a lot of it is warranted. But you know, just remember, you don't have to feel bad that you're enjoying a game that has bad stuff happening around it, because I tell you what, I am enjoying the game. I'm going to keep enjoying the game, and when I'm done with this video and I've played this Bravely Default demo that I just talked about, I'm gonna go back to playing it because it is amazing. I am having such a good time, and I think a lot of people who have the opportunity to play it the way it should be played are also having a great time. But that being said, we have to talk about what's going on with this game. Now, this game was marketed to the Xbox One and the PS4. In fact, if you're playing on the PS5 and the Series X or S, you are in fact playing an Xbox One or a PS4 version. You're not playing, there is no PS5 version, there is no Series X version. You're basically playing through backwards compatibility. So, you know, the big thing is they did not let people stream and show gameplay footage before it came out on the original systems. And that was detrimental because the game is nigh unplayable on these systems. I mean, the PlayStation 5 is even having crashing problems. I hear the same thing on the Series X. Like I said, I got lucky. But on the older consoles, it's just constant. The frame rate's insane. It's gotten so bad that there are actually videos of people playing on the Xbox One where it's like, oh, hey, what you need to do is shoot in the air so all of the NPCs duck down so the frame rate gets better because there's less characters on the screen, which is like bananas. Now, so much stuff has happened. I'm actually kind of glad that I'm making the video now because like I would have had to make a video every day because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. The big shebang right now is Sony has officially pulled the game from their digital store. It's the first time ever. Even Fallout 76, which is like the worst game ever to come out, like the worst excuse for a game to ever come out, did not get pulled from the store. CD Projekt Red is doing the right thing, and they're throwing out, hey, contact us if you're having problems, but go through your respective stores to get a full refund because, patches are coming out in January and February to make the game run better and really more acceptable for those consoles. But, I mean, the PlayStation Store straight pulled it down. People are demanding refunds, and rightfully so. You can't say that a game is coming out for a system and then not be able to perform on it. I will say this. I think, you have to think about what could they have done differently. What could they have done to make this not a problem? And I think they should have gone the same route that Nintendo took with the new 3DS. And by that, I mean there was a handful of games that were only available on the new 3DS. And it would have broken a lot of hearts, especially because this game has been in development for so long. But they should have dropped the base PS4 and the base Xbox One. They should have dropped them entirely. I mean, I hear the game runs decent on a PS4 Pro, and I haven't tried it on my Xbox One X yet, but I heard it runs pretty good on there too. I think they should have bit the bullet, and they would have lost pre-orders. People would have canceled. There would have been backlash, I'm telling you. But it would not have been like this. Because, I mean, it's one thing to say, hey, it can't play on these consoles very well. We can't put it out there. And it's another thing to lie about it. I think if they had done that, it would have probably been all the difference. But once again, you can't blame the game developers. You have to blame the parent company because it's their management are the kind of people making these decisions. But I think if they had dropped the original console, then none of this kind of stuff would have happened. And to put it in perspective for you, think about this. The Xbox One was 7 years ago. Now, I know, you guys know, technology moves at an exponential rate. So, 7 years ago might as well have been 30 years ago as far as technology is concerned. But to really give you a good analogy, imagine if I said, hey, we're in the middle of making Final Fantasy VII. It's going to be the first 3D Final Fantasy game. It's going to be amazing. It's just going to be the best game you've ever played, right? And it's going to come out, and then, you wait 7 years, 8 years, and then the PlayStation comes out, and all of a sudden, boom, hey, here's Final Fantasy VII, one of the best games of all time. But also, for you guys who pre-ordered on Super Nintendo, now this 3 CD game has to play on your Super Nintendo. It doesn't even make sense. So I can see why this would be a problem, and you could even tell, you could tell that they struggled, with COVID especially, probably holding everything back. But I have talked a lot about this right now. It sucks. If you guys are playing it on the original consoles and having problems, I feel truly, truly bad for you. But once again, if you're playing it on the next-gen consoles or a nice, really high-end PC, you're probably not having these problems, and that's what sucks the worst, because, it is such a good game. Everyone deserves to be playing this. I really wish they'd just done the right thing and either held off and not let the game at all come out again to February, and just, everyone would have been upset, but whatever. Or if they had just canceled the original Xbox One and the original PS4 version. But hey, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about CD Projekt Red? It's a terrible situation for them and really for everyone. But so many people were just demanding the game to come out, and then when it came out buggy and bad, they're pissed. you know, I don't know. How do you guys feel about it? Let me know in the comments down below. But then in super duper duper cool news, so Sephiroth has been unveiled fully. We talked about him last weekend. But Sakurai had his awesome little video where he showed all the abilities and all the moves of Sephiroth, and it was awesome. First off, he comes out officially next week, so if you have the character pass for Season 2, you will get him next week. Some of the moves are fantastic though. He's such a wild character, so he's a light character, as in he can get hit very hard and get launched very easily. However, he also has extreme range and extreme damage. So like, imagine like the powerhouse ability of say like a Bowser or a Ganondorf, but you're just a lot lighter, you know, like a I don't know, like Kirby or Pichu or something. But the cool thing is, and this is like such a Sakurai thing, the cool thing is you can actually get him now. In fact, when I'm done with this video, in between Cyberpunk, but probably after the Bravely Default 2 demo, I'm actually going to do this. They have initiated a special battle where you can fight him as a boss. And of course, you have to have the Season Pass, but if you fight him as a boss, like you would a Street Fighter game or any other fighting game of normalcy, you will actually unlock him now, which is cool. That is a cool way to do it. It's like, hey, if you are really into the game and you're really into like, you know, playing it often and doing cool stuff like that, we get to go old school on you, and you get to basically get them early, which is really neat because, you know, nowadays a lot of games, it's like when you want early, you have to pay even more, even though like you're already paying for the character. But this is old school, right? Where you have the ability to fight this boss and then unlock him. I mean, granted, it's semi old school because you're still paying for him, but I think it's cool. What do you guys think though? Is this like a neat thing? And if you got the Season Pass, are you also unlocking Sephiroth now? Are you gonna wait? Or maybe did you hold off entirely? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. So with that, we are reaching the end of our video, and I always like to ask you guys a question. So this time, you know, with the holidays coming up, you know, a lot of people celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, what have you. Solstice is a really good one. I like Solstice. You know, what is one gift that you would really want this holiday? And I know a lot of you are probably going to say like a PS5 or an Xbox, but I can't get one. But I mean, you know, if you could have anything, small, big, large, a rare game, an old game, not a video game, drop that in the comments down below. Kind of interested to see what you guys are thinking. Hey, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for listening in, hanging out with me. I don't know what's been going on the last couple weeks, but we have been jumping exponentially in subscribers, which is awesome. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to see you every week. And, you know, leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, feel any kind of way. And, hey, as always, take it easy.